Hi guys, it's Professor Suresh. Welcome you once again for my next video on quality circle for dummies. I presume that all of you enjoyed watching my previous two videos, first one on engineering graphics and second one on ethics. I'll try to meet your expectations and make my clients, my fans, delighted. It is one of the main concepts in total quality management. All of you are aware that Japan is number one country in the world for quality and China is number one for manufacturing cost-effective products. That's why most of the countries in the world subcontract their product to China. Okay. The concept of quality circles originated in Japan in 1960, propounded by Dr. Toru Ishikawa, who is called the father of quality circles. Dr. Ishikawa is very popular for his Ishikawa diagram, also known as fishbone diagram or cause and effect diagram, a widely used quality tool for troubleshooting. Quality control circle was shortened as quality circle, also known as small work groups. In 1950s, after the Second World War, Japan started exploring opportunities, ways to improve the quality besides the productivity, having realized that they lacked the natural resources like other countries and their economy was in dire straits. But look at them now. They are number one for quality. That's because of implementing so many good quality concepts. They were the first ones actually. They started implementing statistical quality control and subsequently formed a quality control research group as part of Japanese Union of Scientists and Engineers called JUSE, J-U-S-E. Quality circle is a hybrid of application of statistical techniques and group orientation for problem solving. Quality circle is basically another form of participative style of management capitalizing on human resource. It is more formal than suggestion schemes that lost steam after some time, mainly because the employees who recommended the feasible suggestions were not given due credit. So many times, employees used to submit the recommendation and drop it in the drop boxes, and the management committee designated for review of these suggestions was either lazy or too busy with other activities and could not devote any time for scrutiny of their employees' ideas, or they were egoistic and had superiority complex and had a mental block which refused to accept ideas for improvement troubleshooting from their subordinates. Quality circle In quality circle, the originator of the idea will be given full credit and proper recognition by the management. The employees were motivated as a result and they came up with more issues naturally. All of us need to accept the fact the employee that does the work or a particular task knows much better about that work than anybody else, and certainly they have so many innovative ideas and basically they need proper stimulation, the spark that ignites their mind. Else, those wonderful ideas will die in their mind itself if they are not properly nurtured. So, quality circle is a formal way of capturing that innovative power that lies within the workforce, as human resource is abundant in our world and is the best of all resources available on planet Earth. In brief, quality circle is a small group of volunteers, usually 3 to 12 employees, doing similar work in a specific work area. Note that this group should neither be too small, with a little probability of lot of ideas, nor too big, since too many cooks spoil the broth and there will be chaos and it's tough to arrive at a consensus. Participation is purely voluntary and no coercion. The major attributes of quality circle are: 1. It's a form of participative management 2. It's a form of human resource development technique. 3. It's a problem solving and improvement technique. The team will ensure that the regular work is not affected anyway, and even meetings are held beyond the regular working hours. There is no limit on the number of teams that can be functional in the organization. The same work area can form multiple teams too. One main advantage is it is very easy to implement the ideas since it is the employee's brainchild and they'll accept it readily. Nothing works by force. Slavery is gone. Any organization which aspires to survive and prosper has to practice Edward Deming's and Maslow's theory of hierarchy of needs, according to which the highest level need is self-actualization or self-realization that gives the utmost happiness to the concerned individual. Normally, the supervisor will be the leader of the QC. QC structure has 5 levels. Highest level is steering committee, followed by coordinator, then QC facilitator, QC leader, and last but not the least the QC members. Steering committee will comprise of high-level officials. The QC coordinator will be a personnel or administrative officer. There will be only one coordinator for the whole organization or the plant normally. QC facilitator will be a middle-level manager, like for instance production manager, maintenance manager, etc., controlling multiple quality circles in their respective work area. All ideas need to be encouraged in QC meetings, and QC leader will list all these ideas. Subsequently, the QC members will meet again, discuss, rate the ideas, and decide the best idea based on overall consequences. Then it is made as a formal proposal to the higher officials. There will be a healthy competition amongst these quality circles, and steering committee will select the best ideas and distribute prizes, etc., in a formal function held normally on a quarterly basis in most of the organizations where quality circle is practiced. So good employees get the appreciation they deserve, a big pat on the back with the monetary benefits too from higher officials in the organization. Quality circle is not a one-time affair. It should be continuous, and management should extend wholehearted support and facilitate a congenial atmosphere too in the organization for employees to come up with their ideas openly. For effective implementation of quality circle, all participants should undergo regular training at periodic intervals. Only the training content varies. Basically, all participants should have excellent communication, presentation, analysis, leadership, and self-reliance skills. Besides that lateral divergent thinking, which is a must for innovation. Management should not expect improvements that do drastic overnight. Upfront expenditure will be high, and it takes time for these quality circles to take the wings, and then it will fly, in the sense that there will be plenty of good viable ideas as time progresses. Harnessing instant ideas through brainstorming is a widely used technique in quality circles. A lot of innovations are fructified due to these instantaneous ideas. Suddenly something lights up in our mind like a flash bulb. Initially, there may be a little reduction in productivity, possibility of mistakes in the initial period, but we know all human beings learn and improve a lot through real life trial and error. High expectation, which results in disappointment, that is another drawback. Decentralization of authority because of implementation of quality circles which may lead to some higher authorities feeling that they are losing the control, or they may feel that their position is insecure because of this kind of decentralization. For quality circles to succeed in the long run, a total change in the system and the mindset of all employees is a must. I conclude with a statement that quality circle is not only for organizations, even families are like a small organization. The same concepts will lead to the betterment of even family lives. I dedicate this particular video to God. I am planning a video especially for kids, maybe to enable them to understand quality in their own way. Bye till then. Take care.